Once again, talking about that, just to pass on, our economy is doing well in St. Mary's County, but I'm afraid coming down the road, we have to look at what's happening in Annapolis, what's going to be passed down to us as all these unfunded mandates hit us. We just don't know yet. We don't know. And we're looking at 2019 figures and everything as far as our flow of monies. And this pandemic stuff has not hit us yet. We don't know. We're also adding things on in government being used by these grants and everything else. And what's the cost in future years? So all these things we're going to have to really look at in the next 4 to 5 weeks here as we look at this budget. We have to look very careful. We won't know really until mid-April about what the Annapolis is really going to do to us. And I'm afraid and Morgan has heard this too, as we listen to all the MACO bills and all the tax bills that are coming through right now and the legislators, it's remarkable. And somebody's got to pay for all this. And I'm afraid that our citizens and, of course, the state taxpayers, we're all going to be paying for this in the end. And we have to be very careful about our budget here and how we approach it. And this board, I'm proud, as far as I know, we're very conservative, and we have to continue that approach. There's not going to be a spend free-for-all because all of a sudden we got some excess cash sitting around. Believe me, we're going to need this. By the end of this year, we're going to need it. And that's just my caution to the wind here on that. I do want to thank, last few weeks we've been going through all this icing and snow and whatever. The ice has been the worst part about it, but I'm very proud of our county staff and the emergency services people, Steve Walker, Gerald Gardner, Rick Tarr with our people at over in Highway to get our roads cleared and put down. And I've been impressed on the calls we've had morning and afternoon during this thing to decide on who's opening, who's closing, and how safe are the roads. And only thing I can do is walk outside my door and slip and fall on my driveway, and I go, well, yeah, I got icy Clements, no doubt about that. So I'm not the rest of the county, but I could verify my part. But the decision process that we went through, led by Dr. Bridget and Gerald Gardner, has been outstanding. And to make the cohesive, everybody get together and make a decision on what we should do to keep our citizens safe. And all these decisions to make to open or close things is based on those information out there. So please bear with us on this. We're just trying to keep everybody safe as you come to work and hopefully get our emergency services out there when needed. As far as this election turmoil, as we've been going through, this last election showed a different change in the way we vote, early voting, paper ballots, all this stuff has been really a big turmoil from the way we've been doing it for years and years. And so, of course, not many people have talked to us about how did early voting go at Hollywood. It went very well. I'm proud of our election board. He did a great job. As far as some of these people saying, well, it didn't impact all the county. I said, yes, it did. And on top of that, our buses did run into Hollywood Fire Department when needed. If somebody was on that bus and said, I need to stop by Hollywood and vote, the bus went in there and dropped them off. So I don't know, maybe Doug Crosby's not talking to us at all, of course, about anything going on, but they did, and John Dietrich made sure it happened. And I asked him, I said, look, our early voting next time, can we make a bus stop right there at wherever we might have the early voting center? He said, yes, our buses will stop there. So that's not a problem. That's an easy fix. So I'm glad to have spoke to him about that. But yeah, let me know that it's community involvement too. You out there in the community have to say, if there's somebody out there who's having a hard time, but wants to go to a voting center versus a write-in ballot, then by gosh, volunteer to drive them in. I mean, this is a community effort, this whole thing. So I'm very disappointed what's happening out there right now with this new bill that's going through, but I'm totally against it, and we'll see what happens. But thank all of our staff in county. We did lose a good man, and Mr. Ridgel, yeah, he was a good man to talk to. We had a lot of fun, and he was down from the area where I came from, and his family and all, and he did run for county commissioner last time. And yeah, he put his effort out there, and and I'm proud that he stepped forward. And I look forward to anyone else to step forward and to try to fill the seats up here as much as possible. I can tell you right now, the last 6 years, I'm glad that I've served with the people that I've served with. We've done the county a great deal of good. We've come a long ways. We've built a lot of things that are necessary for the improvement of the county and for the improvement of quality of life for our citizens. And that's what we're all about. And everything that's going on right now with the emergency service, same thing. It's just quality of life and making sure we provide the services that are needed by our people. And I want to thank all those that have been involved in pushing this through. I thank Mr. Walker for his involvement in getting everything together so we can make a good decision on this in the end.